All right. Mic check, mic check. More Than Masters podcast. Your host, made of course. I got a special guest across from me. It's been like years and years in the making.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been reaching out and you've been super busy doing your own thing and blossoming into a wonderful flower. So I got what I knew you as an Aisha Little.
Yes.
And now you go by Aisha New.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast. Let me clap it up for you real quick. You deserve that. All right. Been doing some great things in the city, outside the country.
Yes.
How you been?
I've been okay.
So I do want to start with this. I know this year, I remember working at working at Walmart at the time, and I bumped into you, and I had never seen you in person. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I remember following you because you always got a lot of emotion. So I always follow anybody that got some things going on.
Yes.
And never like physically like knew or seen you. Mm-hmm. And so when I seen you, I said, okay, she does exist. This is a real person, right? Because you was like, oh, hey, because we both kind of seen each other. I was like, oh. And we talked about doing a podcast this year. So I definitely commend you for keeping your word. I can't tell you how many times I hear that and then I never hear from the person.
Oh, yes.
So for you to keep your word, that mean a lot to me. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How I always get started is just, I ask people where they from, upbringing. So like, let's kind of get a little bit to know a little bit about you, first for listeners. So like, tell us about your upbringing. Like, where you from?
Okay. May I, before we get there?
Sure.
May I? If you make it to More Than a Masters podcast, like it's a few stamped. Okay. So I am more than delighted to be here also. The feeling is definitely mutual. So
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely.
So about me, I'm like Shrek. I'm an onion. There's layers. But ultimately, I would say I'm from Augusta, Georgia. Went to Cross Creek.
Shout out to the Creek.
After that, went to Clayton State. So shout out to Clayco.
Okay.
Clayton State University. I studied political science, but that shifted and I studied media. No, I still study political science, but media got my attention. So my minor became media studies. Well, and that's how I got into film.
Before I get to the majors and stuff, like just if you can tell me a little bit like how were you like middle school or like elementary? Like how were you? Like were you hands-on thing? Were you bossy? Were you creative? Did you sit and write in a room? Like how were you?
I was always, I would say, for the people at a young age, right? So even in elementary school, I was president of student government, right? Middle school, same thing. High school, same thing. I didn't pursue that route in college, but I did charter an NAACP chapter at my school. So I always been like, in every fight I've been in is usually for someone else. So I always kind of been a for the people person, and I played sports.
Why you think the for the people part? Why you think that was like what about your surroundings made you say like I'm gonna be the one standing up for this. I'm gonna be the one to lead this fight, lead this charge.
Because my parents were in the military, and they always, the people that I wanted to hang with looked like me. They weren't necessarily the ones that were in the Army group, but they, I went to public school, so they looked like me. And I just felt like the only difference between me and anybody else is my parents, and the resources and knowledge that they gave me. So I just always wanted to share that with people that look like me.
That's amazing too, because I'm pretty sure some people look like you didn't have those resources. They might have had half of it.
Correct.
One parent or half of a half, depending on that parent that and how adequate they were with the information they can give out. Right. So I think that's dope as well. And then just to know that, that's why I do feel like this is on a tangent though, but like the 2-parent household is not even 2-parent household, but a very being able to have both parents at your leisure is super important.
Yes.
It's super important. Because you said that the resources, so like you was given or blessed with a certain level of resources, and you chose to share that with your counterparts. And I thought that was dope. At a young age, is insane, because most times 8-year-olds like, I'm better than you, leave me alone. Nah, that's it.
No,
but you was a fighter, like
and thanks to my parents, because they were poor on both sides, like country poor and city poor. My stepdad and my mom, that was my household. Shout out to my father though. What's up, guy?
That's the first time I ever heard that. So shout out to you. Shout out to your father.
Yeah, that's my dog. He just wasn't in, due to circumstances, he wasn't in the household. So, but definitely had a 2-parent dynamic. But they were poor, so they were very humble, and they always talked about servitude, just period. So.
Well, that's dope because I think I've really had somebody come on here and talk about how their parents were humble. Or just poor, or normally not both. Normally you have one, and but then you do your own thing. But to have 2 parents and also don't come from poor backgrounds, do their own thing to make a situation better, and then it seep into you. It's amazing.
Right.
You also say you play sports, so talk about that. Like, what made you play sports?
My mama. Like, I think everybody back then you played sports just because it wasn't as serious as it is now. Like, it was just it's super serious now. It was just like I want my child to run around, learn teamwork, communication, things like that. So that and playing sports did develop that for me. Like the understanding of others. Like, so yeah, volleyball, basketball, and I did 1 year of track, and that's all they got out of me.
That's all they got out of you? Yeah. That's funny. My brother is a coach for middle school basketball now, and shout out to my brother. He's a great player.
Okay.
New coach, so he's learning. And once again, like you, I was a president of something. I've been in leadership roles, so I know how to talk to certain people, how to set the tone. And I was talking to his girls, and they had a big loss, lost to Hesper. 2 in a row.
Oh my gosh, how Hesper still winning?
Hesper, they were pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, they were pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
And I was telling them, like, so I talked to them and I told them, like, hey, you gotta, these are girls now.
Yes.
So take that in mind. These not the little boy that's 13, 12, that's good since they were 6. Some of them just picked the ball up last year, bro.
Right.
Like, they have to learn.
Right.
But once again, go back to, like, you start learning that, because I grew up around certain people that he didn't have necessarily grow up around. I foreheaded certain things. I wasn't a star like he was a star.
Yes.
He knows star mentality.
Yes.
Go out there and kill. I said, you don't have that. Some of these kids are only coming here to get out the house.
Right.
To not get in trouble. And you don't send them back to get in trouble because they can't pick the ball up. Have some grace with them. So, but shout out to my brother. He's trying his best.
Shout out, bro. Stick in there. Stay in there.
Yeah, but for the ones that want to do it, it's going to work out for them.
Yeah.
But, like I said, you don't want to deter them by their way and turn them somewhere else just because they can't,
have fun.
Break a press. It's like, hey, what can you do? So that's dope. You play sports. So I'm glad you said that. So you play sports and you said you learn like leadership, working with others. One thing I know, like in the field that we in media, that can be like what make or break you sometimes. Like learning how to work with other people, being open to working with other people, and also being able to take that back seat. So if you ever play sports, at first you're not the greatest, you're not the best in your position. You got a star on the team, but that star can't win without the other 4 players.
Correct.
Right? So you know this. Right. Or other 12, 17 players, whatever on the team. How much of playing sports at a young age and just being engaged in whether it's presidential stuff, the NAACP stuff you did in college, going to college, your parents, how much did that play a role in your success and what you do now, which is media, film directing, producing, working with other people that are bigger name than you, smaller name than you, wider range of background than you, smaller background than you? Like, how does that work? Helped you rather?
It's everything, because I didn't know that now. I didn't know that now. So it's everything. And it's important to seize every opportunity from elementary school on, because that it's kind of like God's way of molding you into the person that he wants you to be. So, and I do believe that if the parent child relationship is healthy, your parents are the ones that can kind of guide you based on your natural gifts. You get
That's
what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, so I played sports, but my sisters didn't continue because, my mom saw that, okay, she may have had something there, and she guided me to do that. So yeah, it was everything. And
maybe she saw that they weren't as interested, so she guided them somewhere else.
Correct.
Like it's not just like, oh well, they not good. It's like, well, they can put their attention elsewhere at this point. So definitely shout out to you. So I want to get now. I've been getting to like before I get into that high school youth, I have to talk about Cross Creek for a minute.
Yes,
I want to shout out Cross Creek. I know I used to joke on them a lot. My
Everybody
joke was just
did
because I didn't like that when I would. it's a joke. So whenever I don't care whether you go to Cross Creek, Hephzibah, Laney, Josie. If you go to an opposing school, we always gonna be like, oh, you go to that school.
Right.
It could not be a real thing. You tell me you go to Greenbrier, I'm gonna say something about Greenbrier. Never been a day in my life, right?
Yes.
But it's just a thing to do.
Yeah.
But I used to not like when I say something about Cross Creek, and I felt like everybody from Cross Creek took it so personal. Like, our test scores are greater than anybody in the world. I'm like, bro,
because
relax.
school is serious to us.
I'm like, y'all been around 5 years. It's okay at the time. I ain't from here either. So when I came down here, I had just opened. I didn't know.
Okay.
I ain't know. You know.
What high school you went to?
I went to Butler, Josie, and not the Butler. But
You seem like a butler, like a little uppity, you know.
I got my uppity days, definitely. What's today? Monday?
Real alpha-ish.
It's the uppity days today and tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, I get real sluggish.
Okay.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm real Josie-ish.
Yes.
But Monday and Tuesday, it's super George P. Super George P. 100%.
Nice. At least you know.
100% George P. I was talking to Keith Josie today. So
I saw that. Thank you for that too.
I like it. I'm gonna post you what you posted in your story about being a hero. I think that was amazing because let me tell you, I'm gonna get back to you in a minute, I promise. But like one thing about it I like is that when I do stuff like that make my day. Like the podcast and stuff is cool, but talking to the kids and being able to like really control a room of 16 to 20 students that don't that they like when they came in, they were not trying to hear what I had to say.
Yes.
I had to win that room over.
Yes.
Like student by student, to the fact that they all turned around and was talking to me. If you watch the whole thing, the class ends and we like in the middle of like a great talk. So I know I got their attention. That was everything to me.
And that's why I said you're a superhero, because everybody can't relate to kids like that or get that. You have to be light to touch children like that.
Yeah. Definitely got to find that way to get them to be interested in what you're talking about.
Be genuine. Definitely. Be genuine. Definitely. You know? They don't want to buy nothing.
And we talking marketing. They're like, what you got going on, bro? You know, but being able to talk about marketing, branding, promotion, and how they can use that in their everyday life.
Right.
That was like something they hadn't seen. So I liked it. And then I paid. I gave a person $20. Thanks for my branding advice. Everybody that sat down next to me got $20.
That's what's
so
up.
It was amazing. I'm broke right now, but it's all good.
No,
it's all good.
It's gonna come back.
So, but just back to you. So I know you said that you went to Clayton County, right? So
Clayton State University.
I'm sorry, Clayton State. I'm sorry, Clayton State. I'm sorry, Clayton State. My bad, not Clayton County. You wasn't in Clayton County, right?
Yeah, I was in Clayton County, but it's Clayton State University.
Okay. Talk about your experience there.
Okay. So I guess I'm prone to going to new schools because that was a new school. We were actually the first class to stay in the dorms there. Okay. So, I mean, some people are afraid of new. A lot of people want to jump into things that are already in motion, but God granted me a gift of being able to, like with a vision, or even to be able to take somebody else's vision and execute it. So at that point in time, we didn't have a TV station. And we made that happen. We started the first television station at Clayton State. Again, I wasn't in the media program then, but one of my friends had a need, and I'm like, okay, well, we're going to figure out how to do this. And we made it.
Are you the oldest?
I am the oldest, yeah.
There we go. I got it now.
Shout out to the oldest.
What it is. I'm the oldest too. Shout out to the oldest. They go through everything first.
Yes.
But it's something in you to, when you experience a problem from someone that's around you, to fix it.
Correct.
Because you've always been the fixer of the family, of your siblings. I got to fix that for you. You home got to fix your plate. You got the problem, I fix that. So you wasn't in the media at the time, but you chose to fix a problem media-wise.
Correct.
That's what's up.
And I think that comes with, like answering the call. Like God, I do believe God will give you signs of what you should be doing, even if you're doing something else. He'll give you little, maybe try this. Like, yeah. I
100% agree. And I'm a big person on paths.
Yes.
So a lot of times that thing you take on to help with somebody, that's you step into a different path sometimes. You don't see it until later on, but like you was there for political science, right? You helping doing media. Now you done walked into a whole new path that, you wasn't even walking on at the time.
Right. Yes. However, I was only walking it because I didn't believe it was possible. Because had I believed it was possible, I would have been doing it. Because that's what I talked about doing when I was younger. But
so
I didn't think
when you were younger, you were talking about directing and things of that nature and being in media?
When I was younger, you know how, I was in first grade. You know how they have you like write these books or whatnot and you like publish your first book or whatever? So in this book, I'm like, I'm going to be in a limousine with Faith Evans, Biggie, Tupac. Now, I don't know what I was doing there, But when I grow up, that's what I was going to be doing, So, yeah.
Well, you still got Faith. She's still around.
Yeah, she's still around. And
gone,
in spirit, like, it can
well, you could be in the car with Faith while they playing Biggie and Tupac.
Correct.
So you never know.
Yeah, or it might be like Biggie is like Big X the Plug,
That's it could be rappers. It could be rappers.
Yeah. So that was the thing. In middle school, I had like I was in a girls group, and then my mom told me she didn't want me to be, in the industry. So little things kill your dream, and then God reminds you, hey, you can do it.
I can see that. I mean, your mom probably would hate it now because that industry looks crazy now.
Yes.
But it's not that it's bad though. It's just it looks that way.
But you know what? I think God's timing is impeccable, right? Because the exposure of Hollywood, for me, will only means that it, like the phoenix rising, like now God's people can start to shine a little more within those dark places.
I definitely agree with you on the God's time being impeccable because a lot of times you question things or you wonder things and then 3 years from that point you're like, damn, that's why that happened because this had to happen.
Like when we were 10, if someone told, essentially you're like a radio station right now, right? If someone was like, you're going to be on the radio, it was so much tougher to get there. Back then it was like, nah, I ain't gonna, just seize the doubts. But now it's like, oh wow, we can. I
mean, I'm listening to you talk, and I don't know how you were in high school, but I know for me, I was more to myself, very standoffish because I was from a different area. We don't talk if we don't know you. So
where you from?
I'm from New York. Yeah. So me being up there, I was like, why are people driving by, waving, saying hi? Like I don't know you.
Yeah.
Me today, I'm like, I'm gonna say hi to anybody I walk by, just because it's just why not, right? It's Monday.
Right.
I want to say hi to you.
Exactly.
But you got to learn that you be a product of the environment so long. You got to break out of that shell. And I think also I didn't speak unless it was just needed to be said. Now I speak for a living.
Yes.
But you told me that when I was 14. I'm gonna say no. Why would I be talking on camera for? That's crazy.
Yeah.
People from my block not gonna like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm older now, and I'm like, I got my own camera, I got my own station, my own stuff. So I do agree with you there. But get into I know you said you did the political science. So what made you pick political science? Before I get into the director stuff, what made you pick political science, and what was your function or your goal on what you want to do with that degree at that point?
Okay, so I wanted to basically help change the system, be a defense attorney, get people who are wrongfully accused off of, or maybe possibly rightly accused off. And then I wanted to be a corporate attorney. So I wanted to be a contract attorney, contract attorney, again, to like help protect people and their deals or whatever. So
what kind of deal? I'm sorry, what deals? Like, is it like prison terms or like an entertainment lawyer?
It was more like entertainment law. Okay. I wanted to do both. I wanted to do entertainment law and criminal law. Because since criminal law ain't make no money, I figured I'll get my money from entertainment law and then defend criminals. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But so you knew this coming out of college what you want to do?
Yes, out of high school. Yeah, that's what I.
What was influence? Like what influence did you get to want to get in that field? Like what did you see coming up? Like who was your influence to get in that field?
I don't think we really. The only influence was that I wanted to help people. And when you think about people who help people, I didn't want to be a police officer. Attorneys helped people, in the sense of keeping them free. I liked history too, so in the sense of keeping them free.
Okay. When you said entertainment lawyer, I guess I'm thinking like I was trying to think of who I know as an entertainment lawyer. I don't know too many, but when you do hear about it, you hear that that's where the money at. You do hear that. Yeah. That's like a universally known thing. Like your money is in entertainment law.
Right.
I was even told like if you go to college and you play basketball and you're not gonna make it to the league, become an entertainment lawyer. If you got a person that can make it to the league, be their lawyer.
Yes. And I think I might have heard that too, and that's why I was like, I'm gonna defend the criminals, but I gotta get some money. So
right. We knew enough to know if you're gonna be in America, you gotta make some money.
Right.
So what was that shift? Now we can get to that. Now we here. What was that shift that said, or that told you, that spoke to you, that pushed you to a different path to be like, all right, we're going to still look into this stuff here, but I want to do this media stuff right here is what I want to get into.
First, out of college, I couldn't find job. I was a server, mind you, but I tried to do the corporate thing. I tried to apply for jobs and couldn't get a job.
You finished college and everything?
I finished college and everything.
Graduated and everything. I got to say those words. I got to make sure people say a lot of things. They don't be saying it. So you finished college.
I finished college on time, graduated.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to say that.
While in college, though, I took a media and politics class. This is what made me say, okay, I'm going to do the media thing. I did take the LSAT, did get accepted into law school, dropped out because they said I wasn't going to be rich. So I went to become a cosmetologist. But
so you ain't signed up to be broke?
No, not at all. No. So in college, media and politics, Erykah Badu once said hip-hop is greater than the government. And this media and politics class, I learned statistically how this is possible. In TV, they call it television programming. It's called programming for a reason because we're ultimately, everything from a director or writer perspective is done intentionally. So you're ultimately programming people in what you want them to believe, to see, to be, to whatever. It's television programming. So I figured, once I learned that, to be influential in the everyday lives of people, like if I wanted like a little black boy from the hood to believe he could be a doctor, I needed to put doctors on TV. It wasn't going to be in the courtroom after he had already been prosecuted or he was on trial, you know? So that was my preventative measure to, like, you know, be the change I want to see.
That's dope. That's actually, when you kind of put it that way, it's kind of funny, like, You don't move for the money, but you knew that whatever you wanted to do, you wanted to kind of have it lucrative at the same time. And that kind of just shifted you to not jump somewhere else totally, but it's kind of like, all right, my mind's still here, but I'm going to just focus on this now. And then you started dibbling and dabbling in different things. And that's why, like, even in college, it's important. Like, when you take in certain courses, certain classes, I don't think people realize that. So I always say, people always tell you, college is a scam, which, depending on who you are, it might be. Because some people, it ain't for everybody.
It depends on what you're expecting out of it.
Or what you're receiving. Like, are you going to be open to receiving, like, a new culture, or being around different students, smarter students, pushing yourself to it's no more you're doing the same chapter every day for an hour a day. It's on you. You're going to meet that class 3 or 2 times a week.
Yeah.
It's on you to put the work in and figure out the rest, right? So, but that's just one thing. But then you said, like, you took, I'm assuming that was like an elective for you, the media and politics, or was it?
Yep, that was a political science elective.
So you didn't have to, right? So you took it, and that kind of formed, like, the way you thought and what you saw the world to be at, I guess, at the time. And I know it's an episode on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, like, heavy, but he took a class in college, Will Smith, and he dropped out because I guess it was hard. But the class was like, I think it was like philosophy. Yeah. And it would just have to be fun. So he kept going to the class, like, even though he dropped out the class. I don't know the rest of the episode. But what I'm saying
is, God, I was invested.
I know, right? It was really good episode. I don't know the episode. But what I will say is, when I was in school, I didn't drop out, but I had the same thing. Like, I took a class that I didn't want to take, political science. And sociology.
Yes. Oh, my God.
And I remember how he was describing stuff. I said, yo, this is interesting.
Yes.
And I was going for criminal justice. I said, hey, I'm changing major right now. I changed my whole major. I didn't want to do that no more because I wanted to be a part of sociology because that grasped my attention.
Yes.
And sometimes it's them electives that really change your outlook on the world. You know, and that changed how I even started to be like, okay, I'm going to say hi to somebody now. Because why? Yeah, I'm from here, but I can do that, you know?
Yeah.
And then hearing you say that, like, that changed your trajectory, like how you gonna, like, move with your career, your purpose. That's insane. Like, it's just like that's really what, like, life take you somewhere.
Yes.
And so, all right, so you in the media and politics. So you took the class. So what's your first, like, step into, like, the media world, like, creating and doing your own thing?
Okay, so I shout out to Tequila Whitfield. I gotta shout her out. That's my profile. She made me believe that it was possible, right? You have, like, seeing people on TV is one thing, but knowing, or not even knowing, but seeing someone who do it in real life. So she she introduced, of course, she was working at BT and she was casting at this time. So she needed extras. And of course, you know, if anybody's available, we should be available.
Right.
So I was one of the people that raised my hand though. And that was when I look back at it, that was my first like introduction to it. To like, because we had BT, we had CNN, we had Turner in Atlanta, you know. There's one thing from seeing a sign and then actually being in the environment. Right. So that was my introduction to it. And then my first job, I was waitressing. And I asked, I mean, it was like a LA story. I asked the guy, I was like, hey, I overheard you looking for a production assistant. Like, I took good care of you at your table. What do you think? Like,
I'm not laughing at you, but imagine you go to eat somewhere and somebody that's like your waiter, like, yo, I was leave dropping a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Just you know, we have to anticipate your needs.
I felt like I did a good job. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I was nervous when I did it, but a closed mouth don't get fed, and that was my first job.
A closed mouth don't get fed. Talk that talk.
And with that, on that project, off of Genuine Inquiry, nephew Tommy was on that. Lynn Whitfield, she played in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Algebra Blessed, Q Parker from 112. So that was my first project, and that was in theater. It wasn't even in film and television. It was in theater. It was at the Fox Theater.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
To me, that's an inspiring story. I know, like, I'm not saying you're nervous. I don't know if you're nervous or not, right?
Yeah,
but I do the same thing. I talk with my hands. I move them around. So to me, I just feel like you just being you. But when you think of like you saying you was waitressing, which is probably something you didn't really want to do. You got to survive, right?
Yes.
But then you also still in the midst of your survival mode or whatever, you still looking for these opportunities. Using that job to get you here, to get you there. So your waitressing, which is probably something you didn't want to do, but you're doing it. But you're doing it well. That got you this job, and that got you to meet these people, be around that person. It's just, it's a domino effect. You know, and I think that that's why I like these kind of stories, because it's somebody that's gonna watch this and trying to see what move she made, and like, okay, well just be you and claim your opportunities. Don't be afraid to say I heard, hey, you looking? Can you? Some people. I talk to people from here. I'm just saying from here.
Yes.
And I highlight everybody. I don't care whether up, down, low. If I feel like you need me highlighted, you highlight it. And they'll tell you like, man, I ain't really trying to do all that. Like, it's like you expect it to come to you. You expect it to fall in your lap. Like you think you're that great, it's just gonna fall in your lap, huh?
Right.
And even in me telling them sometimes, they're like, yeah, I hear you, but once you say but, I'm done. I ain't trying to hear but.
Anything after but doesn't count.
Here I am, you telling me, because like even if that didn't work, like it seemed like you was gonna be. Some people are ordained to be successful regardless because you put the work in. So whether you put the work in school, you finish, you graduate on time.
Right.
You made your connections at school. Everything you're telling me is telling me no matter what you had chosen to do, you were gonna be successful because you putting the work in.
Right.
And even in the midst of that, you still like, hey, I see an opportunity there. I'm gonna talk myself into that opportunity.
Right.
No pride, no ego. I'm just going to do it. And I think we need more of that. Especially, and you're a black woman at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't too many chances just being thrown your way.
Correct.
For the stuff you might want to do.
Yeah, you have to create it. You have to create your own opportunity.
Definitely.
You have to be a humble servant first. A lot of people don't want to serve. A lot of people don't want to do stuff for little or free. Right?
Yeah.
Understanding there's a promise. My thing is the people that believe that they're going to be successful, if they believe that, then they understand the promise. Whatever the vision that was placed in their heart, that was promising.
Right.
So you shouldn't mind working for free because you know it's going to pay off later on. Now, don't be no dummy now.
Yeah.
But experience is the best teacher, and sometimes that experience comes with like, it may look like I'm not getting paid monetarily, but I'm getting more than you could ever pay me, you know?
Well, speak on that real quickly, if you don't mind. Like, speak on when you think about pay, you think about a check, and you think about experience. You think about a check, and you think about connection. You think about a check, and you think about how, you maybe didn't do this one for a check per se or anything monetary, but this job and how well you did and the connections you made got you landing this role.
Right.
Where now you might make 10 times what you were gonna make the last time anyway.
Right, exactly. So you gotta be genuine. You gotta have move with a good heart and good intention. Because if you do that either way, you're not taking a loss. Like, even if somebody feel like they got over and you're not really taking a loss, because somebody is going to see you and your heart and you're going to be good. What was the question? I forgot.
No, you answered it. But when you was working and it's BET and you said CNN and other things, that like those bright lights, like were you ever shy of those bright lights, or did it ever scare you?
Well, there was no need for me to be shy because I was just like, there was like a extra then, you know, right. Probably wasn't even seen.
But it's still crowded though, right? It's still like a lot going on. Like, no. I mean, like, did you have to slow down time? You know how you don't know now because you do it, but like me as a novice, if you told me to come on set with you, BT gonna be this, gonna be there, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's like 20,000 different things going on around me. Yeah, I'm an extra. Yeah. But you're trying to soak it all in.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing about when you're not all the way up here. I think that's the best. Like, that's the best spot to be in because you could really be the fly on the wall. You can really soak it all in. Like you can take this $1,000 masterclass for free.
That's dope. The fly on the wall is amazing, I think, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, you got 1,000 different things going on. You get to see production at its highest peak. BET's here, right? You get to see the fancy cameras. Yes. You get to see the people getting makeup. You get to see the attitudes. Yes. People, like, you get to see that little snobbish stuff that the people that do have that they up here.
Yes.
They can walk around like that. You get to see that. You get to see stars that don't have no attitude. Like, okay, well, that's possible. You can be yourself and still be a star.
Right.
But you get to see so many different facets of that world in that time. Yeah, you're an extra, but the good thing is no pressure on you. Correct. So now you can soak it all in.
Right.
What around that time, before you started to do your thing and you was doing extras and helping in theater, like, or being an assistant, like, what are some things that you soaked up before you stepped out and started to do your own thing that you feel like that helped you catapult you when you started to do your own thing?
Shout out to my mom, because she always volunteering, being a servant, being of servitude, like that was just always a thing, you know. So, dang, I get to now. It's like knocking two. I'm passionate about this, and I could help you in a way, volunteering that way. Now, every project wasn't volunteer, but when you know when you can or when you can't.
It's a feeling.
But yeah, it was just that was the first time, like, I knew that was where I was supposed to be, because it was like 12 or 14-hour days and I wasn't tired, and I could, I knew because at that time I had a son and I could stay away from my son from that. For that restaurant, nah. But for this, it was like, I understand this gonna save this might be something that saved his life. That might that would allow me to invest in his idea so that he don't feel like he gotta go steal for it. Or that, it's just something provide. That is this is it.
But I think it's dope what you said about the 12, 14 hours, because like a lot of times, I was, like you say, basketball or whatever, like you could tell somebody passionate about it. They ain't tripping about how long practice is.
No.
They ain't tripping about how long we filming. They ain't tripping about how long this. Normally when you checking your time and your watch, it's like it's somewhere you want to be.
Right. Exactly.
You ain't trying to be there.
Exactly.
And so, doing a shift when you waiting and it's not really what you want to do, it's like every hour seems like 4 hours.
Right.
But then when you had these 12, 14-hour days, it's like, all right, what's next? Like, I'm ready, what's next?
And shout out to my ex-husband and my child's father. Like, I knew because I ain't gonna say I ain't care that he was complaining, but this was like, you gotta understand, like, I ain't out here, So like, that's one thing that canceled out the noise. If you could find the thing that you don't care what nobody says, like, this is it, like, run with it. That's the thing.
So I do want to expound on what you just said a little bit, 'cause I think that's super important. Not the kid's father, and that's just funny to me, but
yeah,
I agree with you. Like, it's when you're in the media world, you can't put a time limit on art or creativity.
So many arguments. I don't even want to give you a time.
I'm trying to tell you.
Like,
I'm trying.
You can
I'm a lie and say 10 hours later because I don't want you calling me, asking me.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to get mad instantly.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to get upset.
Yes.
Once somebody starts to time your art, I get upset. I don't want to tell you how long the podcast is going to be, what I'm doing, because if you call me, you still work. Click.
Right.
Because why you asking me these questions? Like, you messing me up when I'm trying to vibe here.
And I feel you with like, lying, because if you tell the truth, they're gonna come with all this. That's messing up the vibe. I told you I was going to the store because I knew you would have a problem with me coming to this interview.
100%. 100%. And I went through that, and that's why even I seen you sharing that. I don't know if you go through that now or not, but like, even if you're dating and you talking to somebody, it's so hard because you really can't I don't have a job where I say I get up at 9. Even my real job, I'm managing. I'm the manager. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, I could say I get up at 5 if I don't care.
Yeah.
But I might get up at 6. I might get up at 6:30. Right. I might have some stuff I got to take care of.
Routine.
It's like, what is that? Like, I have to. It's things I have to do.
Yes.
Whenever you the man, whenever you the person, you the one. You the one they calling. Like, whatever position, job, outside this creativity, there's no time limit. You have to be available at all times, damn near.
We working on a project, you might have to call me at 12 a.m. because you
Zoom
editing
calls.
something. You got
to have conversation about, we got to switch this rollout. We got to switch this line out. Like, what should we do with this? How should this wardrobe look?
And I don't have time for you to be like, my man, my wife. I don't have, like, this is business. There's all this is. We have a shared interest and a shared goal. Obviously y'all couldn't get on the same page. So that's all we, that's all it is. That's all that's going.
Right.
So yeah.
Nah, I thought that was dope because I was talking to Elmo in the same show. Shout out to Elmo. And he said that, he's like, you can't put a time on art because the minute you do that, you start limiting yourself. You don't give your best work. You miss out on stuff. You forget things. You got items now. Like, it just go downhill from the minute you give a time limit, it go downhill from there. And
I'm going to expound on that because I just recently had a situation in Houston. I don't know how. I do know how because I was looking at the numbers instead of reading the words. I was supposed to be flying out of Houston, but I bought my flight from Dallas. So it's a 4 hours time difference. We were filming, but instead of me being like, hey, I got to be out of here by 8 because I got to go catch my flight in Dallas, I had to let us finish because it was a very dramatic scene, and the actor had to take time to get into character so that she could deliver what she needed to deliver. And imagine me telling her, hey, I got to get out of here at 8. You really got to be a selfless servant. Like, you really got to, like, put not others' needs, but the bigger picture above your own. I figured out I got to Dallas now, but how selfish would it have been to, like, mess up the whole vibe because you messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we can kind of move to that too. So you said something that I was going to ask. I wondered, like, that's a question I had, like, on set, when you do have dramatic scenes like that, people don't see the behind the scenes. And I've seen it on a smaller scale, but I know you do things on a bigger scale. These scenes, sometimes you got to shoot 20, 30, 40 times, depending on what it is. Not 40 maybe per se, but you get a lot of times, And until you, as a director or producer, feel it's right, it ain't right. So yeah, the nerve you would have to be like, you know what, that's good, let's go.
Right.
That's when you get them. I hate that people title like movies that's not good as Tubi or whatever movies, but there are ones like that on there where you can tell, like, okay, they could have shot that scene over.
Yes.
They could have did it. It's not giving what it's supposed to give right now.
Right.
But because, you care about the art, and I watched the one you sent me. I ain't gonna talk about it, but I watched the one you sent me, and I was saying, like, it was just shot beautifully.
Yeah.
Not only is it shot beautifully, I'm big on audio.
Yeah.
Like, if the audio from the movie, I will turn it off.
Right. That's everything.
I'm turning it off. I feel like it was no mics there.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm watching the scene. I'm not gonna say what you're saying, but I'm watching the movie, and it's two shot. It's shot differently. You got up close, and you got, like, behind the gate where Bank is talking to the other person, right? And I'm like, oh, I like that. And to me, I'm like, and I could still hear him clear, like he right on the microphone.
Yeah.
So that let me know the production level was good.
Yeah.
That's how I determine whether I'm gonna watch the full movie on Tubi or not.
Right.
The minute I still watch. I'll watch some choppy stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Right, but some, like, not too much. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's a balance. Yeah.
If I feel like, hey, look, this was the iPhone shot movie. Then I ain't watching it. But for most part, I'm big on like not being critical because I don't do that work. I did learn that. You said about servitude. I just learned that like not critiquing something hard until you've done it. So I would critique movies.
I like that.
All this stuff, and then I acted with Cotton Clay. So I do a podcast with Cotton Clay too. That's probably how I end up getting to know you from Cotton Clay though. But I do a podcast with him, and we did The Main Way. I got a show with 2 seasons, by the way. You should check it out. First season, I feel like I'm a horrible actor.
Yes.
But watching it back, I said, oh, okay, I can't be talking about these actors no more. Because, boy, what the fuck was I talking about? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I started a little bit. I wasn't, but I could tell, like, I wasn't even coming prepared. I wasn't approaching it right. I didn't know my line. So the second season, I made sure I said, hey, I'm going to do sit-downs with my daughter, my sister. We did some sit-downs. We read it back and forth. So by the time I was able to shoot, I knew the lines. I wasn't, like, messing lines up. I knew how I wanted to smile, how I wanted to look. But the first one was night and day. But I told myself, I said, I'm never dissing the movies no more.
Yes.
I'll diss the writing.
People are at different phases of their journey, you know?
Oh, 100%. I see that clearly now.
Yeah.
But on Journey, I want to make sure I stay with you. So I know you did, so you're serving stuff. You are volunteering and stuff. When is your first break of I'm filming? Or when did you first have that idea, I want to film my own? I know you acted. I know you did theater and stuff. But like, as far as the director and producing, like, when did you say, I'm going to be that person?
So having the knowledge and the application of knowledge is 2 different things. So I always felt like I was going to be one, right? But answering God's call, somebody presented me with the opportunity. If you help me make my films, I'll help you produce yours. And making film the right way is very expensive. So that was an amazing opportunity. Shout out to Nana. That was the director of photography who shot that. I'm a producer writer. I direct because I wrote it, but I'm a producer writer. So one of my gifts is getting people together, like getting people like this together. Hence the.
If you don't mind, can you tell us the difference between all that producer, writer, director stuff? That's important to me.
Sorry. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit, but you can check out makemymovienow.com and it has
I've seen that. I was going to ask you that
too. But a producer is basically somebody who makes it happen. Like they make it happen. Like no, they make it happen. I don't know how else.
They're glued to everything. Like they glue everything together.
Yeah, they go. Let's say if you gotta go somewhere, they find in the hotels, the rental car, whatever the day entails. The producer is 9 times out of 10 the producer, production manager. But we on indie films producer. Right. We all in one. Okay.
Everybody got multiple jobs.
Right. The director works textually, like how it's supposed to be. There, I'm air quotes because there's nothing is set in stone, right?
Right.
So the director works with actors. They direct specifically actors on where to go, how to do their movements and things like that. And the director of photography usually is one behind the camera. Their expertise is to place. Okay, this is what the director wants the actor to do. This is the best angle, shot, way to do it, or to light it. So. Yeah, he's a director and director of photography. Where I filled in the gap was I'm a producer and a writer. He's from Ghana, so his American lingo wasn't really hitting on that. Yeah. So yeah, we complemented each other in that way.
Okay. Well, I want to speak more on the producing side. As someone who I produce podcasts, rather, I don't produce films. But I agree with you. A lot of times people come to me and say, I want to talk this, that. And as a producer, my job is to make sure they got everything. So I got the camera, I got the audio, I got the mics. I'm going to say, you need to sit here, you need to sit here. And instead of y'all talk about this. As y'all transition that, you transition out of that. I'm just doing the groundwork, the dirty work. I'm gluing everything together.
And you can, and if it's done right, you could kind of let go after it starts.
Yeah. You can have it on airplane mode at some point.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%. So with you and producing, like, what's the hardest part about producing, right? Like production for you?
The hardest part is making something out of nothing, because can't isn't in my vocabulary. So if we don't have no money, we still gonna find a way to get it done. Or being, since my goal is to help as many people tell as many stories as I can, doing what I can with with nothing. That's the biggest, because everybody don't have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to put in a movie. You know, like realistically.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean their story shouldn't be heard or doesn't need to be heard. You know.
How long does it take to shoot a movie? And I'm give or take. I don't know. Like, you can give me whatever, but like.
There's different time frames. So
is it budget?
I've seen it's budget related. It's budget and time related. If you got a bigger budget, you got more time. So I've seen it done in as little as 4 days, like a whole feature film. And I've seen it done over a 30-day span, you know, just one episode. So
can I ask you a question? Which was better? You ain't got to say.
You already know.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I ain't seen them yet.
It was definitely the 30 days, but I've seen a 7-day that looked very good too.
Okay. Yeah. I saw an interview. It's gonna be. I know it's on a tangent. I'm sorry. I just go off the vibe when I'm talking.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Bow Wow one time, right? I know, right?
Okay.
That was on Dr.
I liked Bow Wow.
He was cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
And he talked about Like Mike and about the filming of Like Mike and him thinking that he had to learn the whole script in one day because he used to shooting videos and they shoot videos in a few days.
Right.
But they shot out a span on a couple of weeks. And I still think even that is short for a feature film in the movies with a big budget. But apparently that's the thing. Like, you're just going to work with this coach, this acting coach. Obviously, it's more roles because it's a bigger budget. You got an acting coach. You got this person. You got that person. When you're writing out, as a producer, I don't know if you do this. You do the itinerary and stuff too? Like, so I worked with Carlton Clay, and I know he has shows and stuff, a bunch of different shows he done produced and stuff.
Shout out to Carlton Clay, because he's one of the he's one of the first in the city to do it. So
I'm going to tell you, that is a guy that... and that is very few people I would claim that I took something from. I just like what they do.
Yes.
But his work ethic, like he makes you want to match it. So naturally, if you're around him, you're gonna do better for yourself. Because he's gonna be doing so many things. You're gonna like, damn, you got a twin, you got a clone,
right?
Because he'll be like, even now we do Take 5. We shot like 3 episodes in one day one time.
Yes.
He's like, can we shoot 3 in one day? I'm like, why? But now I see why, because we both so busy we can't even get back for a whole nother month. So let's keep it going so that nobody sees that we took a gap. Right. And that's how he thinks, even when he write everything out. I've seen his, all right, we gonna shoot 4 episodes today. Wow. Yes. Well, 4 episodes from different things. So you bring these clothes, bring that clothes, bring these clothes, bring those clothes. Then the next day, all right, the clothes you brought from episode 3, bring that. That brown shirt, bring that. We shooting episodes out of sequence. But he know what everything, like, and it's just the way he, all by himself.
Yes.
Him have like a...
And I would say, like, and I don't know, this is just me, you know, speculating, but he's a very genuine person. And in order to even give an AF, like to give AF, enough to care that you got the right clothes and you got this, and you got to have a certain level of caring of others. I don't care what nobody says. You got to like people to be a producer. You got to, you have to be, you may not have to like people to be a director, but the best directors do, but producers are people. Like,
something you said that I'm learning as you're talking to me, so forgive me for going on here and there, but you mentioned like the director photography kind of do the shots or the filming, the director kind of work close on with the actors, and you got a producer. In my mind, I always thought these 3 people did the same thing. So when somebody said they do production and directing, in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, they sat there all day and wrote this whole movie? Yeah. Damn. They had to pick all the actresses and actors and to see if they mesh well, because that's important too. You can act well, but do you mesh well with the cast? Correct. Do you fit? Okay, cool. Damn, they had to go rent a camera and really film the whole day. Now I'm knowing from talking to you, like, these are all different jobs for the most part.
And we can make something out of nothing. So sometimes Carlton probably is a director and the producer and possibly direct photography sometimes, because he know how to work a camera. And he edit his stuff. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you do have to wear all those hats at once. But the best experiences is when everybody is in their lane, working together for the bigger purpose. Like, nobody wants to do it all alone. I think we're like forced to, because either other people don't understand our vision or we can't find our tribe or whatever. But nobody want it. And if they do, stop being a Grinch. It's gonna be okay.
I agree. I agree with you, because I've heard him and people that I work alone. I've heard people right now. You see, I'm by myself. Yeah. And honestly, I would love to sit here and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just focus on you. And only I write stuff down. So you see me on my phone. I'm just writing down my questions and Xing them out when I finish doing them. But I'm doing all that in one. You don't want to. You just kind of have to because, you know, you can't rely on anybody.
Right.
I can rely on myself, though.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, yeah, that's a whole other thing, though. But definitely in the media world, if you could find a niche or find a group of people you can work with, because that's like hitting a lottery.
But I'm just so excited because, you know, people of other cultures have been doing this for a long time. And I'm excited because now we're starting to do it. And it's not just make movies, it's a community thing. Like I said, the best movies have these people that are in their lane being the best people that they can be for this project. So if we could do this with media, like movies, that can translate into other things. We could start like community investment, you know, like we could start to trust each other more. That's underlying like good danger, like something that'll help us be more dangerous. Like I just learn a community.
I think like you're not gonna find a lot of yous. You're not gonna find a lot of conclaves. You're not gonna find a lot of me. You're not gonna find a lot of selfless people who are able to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You find a lot of I, me,
yes,
my,
yes,
minds.
That comes from lack, though.
Lack of what?
From lack of love, lack of understanding. But I would just say mostly of love, because even if you have money and you have love, you can still feel rich. You get what I'm saying? You can still feel like you're not really missing anything.
100% agree.
Until someone else tries to tell you that you are. But yeah, that's just a lack mindset.
Why do you think that you don't have that? Is it the parents? Is it your upbringing? Is your your background? Like, why do you think you don't lack that? Because you're from here as well.
Yeah, definitely. My parents, my friends, my best friend, she was raised out of a lot of love. I believe that we've lasted so long because she ain't never had a reason to hate. She got her own love. She has her own, it's never, she had her own money, her own motion, her own, she was lacking nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like before Carlton, when I got back to Augusta, and I was trying to become a part of teams, but he was wrapping up, like going down. But I wanted to support him because he was already doing something. It made no sense for me to start my own thing at that time if somebody else was already doing it. So I was kind of like not forced to, but the opportunity just presented itself. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So to answer your question, I may have lacked a lot of things. Like my mom didn't buy name brand stuff and things like that. But in the love department and knowing that even if you gave $1, it won't be your last. The servitude thing, that helped.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure from this, but everybody gonna take from this is that you're just a good person. And that's the main thing. So that's the start of wanting to work with somebody. So when you tell me you ask this person, hey, I overheard you talking, it's like it seeps off of you that you're a good person.
Right.
So you probably don't hear no a lot.
And
she said,
wait, what you say?
I said you probably don't hear no a lot.
Oh, no, I don't, but but you can't just start being a good person. You should, but most of my yeses come from being a good person 10, 15 years ago, about stuff I forgot, about.
Damn, that's a hard line you just said there.
Yeah, so like for example, like people who, starting to do business or they want to do business, but they maybe mean for no reason. It may be harder for them because y'all was mean for no reason. Now you want to be nice because, you need people. Yeah. Even the people of other cultures pretend to be nice. Like, you just got to be nice.
All the time. How you doing, buddy? They don't
right.
Like
you don't like, so just be nice.
That's the bar there. I do feel like that. Like, you can't just start because I need people now to be nice. Now, a lot of times you do that. The minute you do something for somebody or they feel like you've done something for them, they want to praise you now. Do that. Nah, just be yourself. Because I'm going to see that as well. And I'm going to see that as fake. Now I ain't going to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. What about in production? Like, so I know you got production, and you could make companies. Did you ever think, okay, I'm making a production company, I'm gonna title it this, and if you did, why? And like, give me that background, like getting in the business mindset of it.
You don't get paid if you don't own anything. So if we're thinking about right now, okay, yeah, you can cut me a check, but what about 10 years from now? It's time for my son to go to college. Like, how is this going to help me then? So the production company came from, okay, now you're writing for people and you're starting to get residual points or, offers for that. I don't want to be paying Uncle Sam for that, so let's put it in. I don't know. But it just seemed like the right thing to do, It just seemed like the right thing to do, so that's what we did. I was trying to. You know what? You inspire me also to do my own thing, because in what I do, if I'm writing something for someone else or if I'm producing something for someone else, my name might not necessarily be on it per se. So my personal branding and the company, all that stems from when we met at Walmart. He was like, I always see everybody else's stuff. I never see yours,
Yeah.
And I was like, I do promote everybody else a lot and not necessarily what I personally do. So that's how that started. It's like, yeah, I know her. I know she's a good person. I may even know she writes, but a lot of people only knew because they worked with me or maybe someone referred them to me.
No, I'm glad I said it to you then, because since I'm blunt, I'm going to say what I feel when I say somebody.
That helps me so much.
But on a real, like, even as you look, sometimes you look you up, like the stuff that you see, I'm like, I know she did.
Yeah.
Almost 4, 5, 40 more things more than this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm knowing because I know what you're attached to. I know what I seen your name a part of. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, why I don't see this? I remember watching Tubi one day, and I saw something, and I think it was the production company that you got with, and I saw it, and I was like, that name seems familiar. I've seen this somewhere before. I don't know where. And I went on Facebook. I looked for days. I tried to find you for days and days, and I could not find you. And I'm like, yo, what the you changed your name.
Yeah, I changed my name.
I said, and I get blocked a lot because I play a lot. So I was like, damn, is she blocked? Did I say something about directors? Or what's going on? And then finally one day you posted, I said, I screenshot. I said, okay, so I don't forget the name.
Yeah.
And I went and I found it. And I think I told you, I was like, I seen you on Tubi. I was watching it. It was to me, because I'm not, I see you post it and I see you say it. I'm like, what's the odds that I pick a movie based off based off you, based off what I seen? I'm gonna watch it. I'm like, yo, I think I know the person wrote this. I think I know the person wrote this. I just got hyped myself.
Yeah. So
that's why I said that to you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's the name change though. I think that's what you were alluding to. My goodest friend Kay Turner, she mentioned something to me. She was
I went to school with Kay. Shout out to Kay.
Shout out to Kay.
Went to Butler.
She said, so I changed my name, but after I changed my name, I was thinking more so about personal branding. But what she said to me was like, a lot of great people in the Bible, God changed their name before he used them. So for me, is more so purpose behind it. Like, I don't want to be too cliche, but Little is my family's slave name. You feel me? So I don't want to be Aisha X, although that might be my cousin, because Malcolm X, Malcolm Little, but I didn't want to be Aisha X, so something more meaningful. Yeah. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah, you were funny. Yeah, I'm trying to laugh because that was funny. That might be my cousin just funny to me. Like,
yeah.
Do you eat pork?
I do not.
Yeah, probably not cousins, but it's all good.
He eat pork. No, he didn't. He does not eat pork.
He don't. You don't eat pork?
No.
Man, I got a bunch of Slim Jims I'm gonna give you too. I bought 100 Slim Jims a day.
Slim Jims?
Yeah, you don't eat those?
No.
I eat them all the time. Okay. Oh man, that was funny though. Malcolm X, Malcolm Little. That's just funny as hell. Yes. I don't know why. I thought you were going somewhere with Little, like maybe like Little was too small. I'm thinking big. You went somewhere else. I was like, okay, slave name. Okay,
I told you I've always been for the people, so I study Malcolm X.
Definitely. You know what's crazy too? I know I said that I was going to ask and I didn't ask. But just to go back real quick, I'm gonna get this part. Like your time at Cross, what do you think about Cross Creek and time you went in relation to like what people are doing now? Because y'all have bred some very big move making people. You got Jordan Johnson, you got you, and like you got Jay Mon. It's a bunch of people that's from there that I've interviewed.
Yes.
And they doing great things in the community, outside the community. What was it about, you think, that school, that community that led y'all down the path of success? That's a beautiful
Cross
question.
Creek really academic excellence. Like, we might not have been a charter school, and also community. Cross Creek, I don't know about the other schools, but that was the one of the schools where Black and white people, we rock together. You feel me? Like, it's not I just gotta say it how it is.
Nah, you good. Go
like,
you
we rock together. So it was a lot of high standard. We were new school, so we ain't in the hood. We got to stand on what we can stand on, academics.
Right. I feel you.
So
we laughing, but I do agree with you though. I agree 100%. I agree.
We don't have the historical context as the other schools, so be good at what you good at. Get good grades.
I think another way, because you're saying the same thing I'm about to say, but I think it was one of them things where like, we don't have a history, so let's make our history. And Let's make it our history for something great.
Yes.
So if we starting off 50, 40 years behind these other schools, let's go ahead and get them right now where they can't compare. So right now, the other schools, they got history. They got these sports, these states. We can't do that right now. So let's do grades. Now look at y'all, winning state.
And I just got chills because my whole, while people may, people, there are certain people who want to go to those schools because of the history, which is fine. But then I've always been like, I want to be a part of those people that's starting something. Like, the people fear starting from nothing, or like just having a vision and a plan. I'm all for it. If God gave you a vision and a plan, all we got to do is execute, and He gonna bless it. Let's go. All we got to do is do the work. He gave you got the dream, Joseph. I think it was Joseph, or I don't know, but you got the dream. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. I like what you said, but don't give me lying about the Bible, because I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm learning.
Teach me when you know. Give me the short version. But definitely, I agree with you. Like, but you said something that I feel like the average person, to people like me and you, what you just said is like, it's Bible, it's biblical. It's like, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
To somebody else, like, put work in. What we doing? People want to do stuff, and they like to brainstorm and say, I want to do this, and then do nothing behind what it takes to do that, to really do that. Yeah. And that's what we up against in media right now.
And that's why people get charged for consultations, because you ain't about to talk. You're not about to talk our head off about the idea, because when you come, like, we need to be putting motion behind it.
Nah, that's funny. That what you said. That is funny. That's funny. Oh my God. What? So out of everything you worked on, like, give me some of your favorites, and give me some of your, not all your favorites, of course, but give me some things you like. I'm not saying favorites. That's too much pressure.
Yeah, favorites. My last one is on my favorites. Ask me the question again so I can think.
No, give me some of the projects you worked on that you like, that you can talk about, like, as far as like working with people, what you learned, how that maybe helped something else.
So,
because you all over the net. You on Tubi, you on YouTube. I've seen you on different platforms, like, and you act.
I do act.
I thought you did more production, but I saw, I was like, oh, she act too. Oh wow. Yeah,
I always try to like be 80 or something like that, and they put me in front of the camera, like somebody don't show up, and the producer cares. The producer, well, not a producer, but they know their lines. They know their lines and other people's lines. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that just happened. But every set I learned something. Honestly, the sets with less resources, I learned the most. The luxury sets, I'm just eating and watching. Enjoying luxury. But I don't have a favorite one yet. I don't have one because I'm just in the beginning of my journey where I'm not putting out those things that are like those conversation pieces that are like evoke action or emotion, or like, I'm not yet doing that.
But But and I know you got a lot of different titles under your belt, rather. But what titles that are movies, shows, whatever that you are heavily a part of that you got coming out? Either it's coming up or you got coming out. Because I know one I could talk about. I see as I Think I Love Her.
Yeah,
you associated with that, right?
Yes.
So tell me how that came about and what you're doing there.
I wrote, produced, and directed that one.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot. That's a lot of work.
Remember that opportunity I told you about the guy was like, if you help me produce my films, I'll help you do yours. So we did a movie called If I Shall for him. That should be coming out next year too. And then 2 in Ghana. And then that one, I Think I Love Her, was ours, but that was one I had more creative control.
But you wrote it, you directed it.
So that was shot in Detroit and Atlanta. So that would be my favorite. That one would be my favorite because Detroit has like the independent film industry on lock right now.
100%.
So
100%.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of like learning from the best. So I went there to learn from the best. Like Atlanta's cool as the Black Hollywood, but they're not making moves like Detroit making moves independently.
Yeah,
they're making moves more so on like BT, some things that we don't really watch a lot anymore.
Yeah. You're not saying nothing bad. I know you probably feel like it, but you're not saying nothing bad. It's not saying nothing bad.
But I just feel like now in the film industry, it's like the live mixtapes era, and that's what's more popular than mainstream.
So a lot of people probably don't know this because if they watching, they might do. But I watch a lot of film, a lot of Tubi. I like McGraw Ave. That's Detroit.
Yes.
They got another show like a spinoff of that. That's also Detroit.
Yes.
But Plug Love, also Detroit. But that guy, I don't know his name.
Murder.
Detroit.
Yeah.
What about the bald headed Dennis
Reed?
Is he also Detroit?
He's also Detroit.
Got it on lock. I mean, it's certain film when you see them, I already know. I don't have to. I know that it's even for their early work.
Yes.
It's some. Don't get me wrong. The audio might not be the greatest, but the writing and the filming is. I be wondering if they got twins. I'm like, they put a movie out every week. It seems like, and they in it.
But they have built an ecosystem. They have found something that works for them. When you start, if and when I get a check and people, they'll see it because I'm coming back with it. You get what I'm saying? So now let's make some more, and I'm coming back with it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they have mastered how to do that.
But that took what you said earlier, the community that like ego aside, because Murder Payne and Dennis, they 2 different entities. They do their own thing, but to come together sometime or to say that this your, you know what I'm saying? It's something about that I think catapulted Detroit to be in the forefront.
Yes, because you gotta know.
Here.
You have to know when to shoot and when to pass. Like. Murder, I don't know him personally, but when it was his time to act, he acted. When it was his time to be a writer and producer, he stepped up and be writer and producer. When it was his time to go back to acting again, he knew how to act. So you just have to go like with the ebb and flows of life.
What you said is the point. You got to know when to shoot, when to pass. And I think that be a lot of, in media, in our world, a lot of times a big, something in people's way.
Yeah.
Not knowing what role to play because they want to play every role. Or they want to play only the main role. If it's not the main role, I don't want it. Well, sometimes you got to play the back. And you believe it or not, you'll learn more from playing the back. Sometimes you got to be the fly on the wall. Sometimes you got to be the man in charge. When people think the man in charge is just being in front of the camera. The person in front of the camera is almost never in charge.
Right.
They just the person in front of the camera.
In front of the camera.
You're lucky enough to get somebody that can work the camera right to make you look like you in charge. But it's always the behind the scenes. And so when I see people like you that work behind the scenes heavily, I
But black people will make you come from behind the scenes because they think you're not doing it.
Nah, you got to though.
But what you said was true. The person behind the scenes is usually the one but if they don't see you, if they don't see it, a lot of times they don't believe it. So which causes people who want to get hired to have to come out front. I
mean, that's just the world we live in. A lot of times they say, what have you done for me lately?
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, you did something 10 years ago, but you did it for me last 6 months. So sometimes you're only as good as your last time I saw you.
Yes.
If I ain't never seen you or nothing, then you're not nothing.
Yes.
So it's like, and it's the illusion sometimes too. The thing about the media game, it's a big illusion. I seen somebody share a guy from Augusta the other day. He must have got a plaque for something he did, right? He got a plaque. I don't know him.
I don't know him either, but I feel like.
But people were sharing it. I'm like, and I'm not dissing them. I'm happy they shared it because it's cool.
But it was from his preschool kids class.
Nah, you like, chill. He got a plaque for somebody going platinum. Somebody going platinum.
Okay, I'm not laughing at that.
I only said to say, he don't have no crazy big following like that, right? Yeah. But it goes to show you that that song, he probably been made that song. He probably been talking about I'm doing this.
Right.
But nobody wanted to share it until they saw it.
Yeah.
Look at his posts. Mm-hmm. Really interaction, no likes, no comments. He's posting pictures, no love. Mm-hmm. But he shared that plaque with a new artist that everybody like, something to plug or whatever. Right. It's like, whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
They have to see it first.
And that particular producer been good.
I'm pretty sure 100 records on his belt. Yeah. But now that he can post a picture saying, "Hey, look what I did."
He probably made $1,000 today just off people wanting to work with him because of
interviews, all that stuff. You know, not me, but definitely interviews, all that stuff, definitely. Yeah. So sometimes about that too. Sometimes you gotta. I hate to say it because Kendrick said it, but sometimes you gotta pop out and show. You gotta do it. I'm a big Drake fan, so I hate he said it, but he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pop out.
But I don't like to do that because genuineness, right? Like the same, like he posted that. I just feel like the people that, I don't know, I'm just scared of success because I just want genuine people around.
Is that why you share everything instead of like posting your own thing? Is that why you share a lot? Like you rather just big up the next than like say, hey, look what I'm doing, y'all. Look what I'm doing, y'all. I notice when you get excited about something, you share when you're excited.
Yeah.
Not necessarily successful stuff, but like I got a call. I got this. I'm about to do this.
Yeah.
You not saying you don't post it, but I've noticed that you don't always post like, look what we did, y'all. Look what we did, y'all.
And that's kind of how I was raised too. Like, I don't know how many new cars I had in the past, but you won't see me post about it because because we used to it, and two, because why, you know, like what is the purpose of you flashing your things? You get what I'm saying?
You are you're modest, right? And then you also are humble. You come from humble parents too. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm the same way naturally. I feel like sometimes showing something like showing off.
Yeah. And
I don't feel right showing off. Right. So I'd rather just get it and take care of it.
Right.
If you know I got it, cool. If you don't, oh well.
Right.
Because also I never want nobody to feel like I'm stunting on them as well. You know, I want everybody to be happy for me. And I think sometimes when you post all your success or too much success, naturally people want you to start losing.
Yeah, because
they want you to fail.
They're human, or they're human.
Yeah, they got feelings.
They got feelings.
They probably messed up someone in life for like, you know, that should be my car. I should be doing it. I could be.
Do you know how many times I had, and that's why I had people say that in my past, like, oh, this is my car. And I don't know if they realize they say it out loud even, you know, like, so it's just, I don't like it.
I don't blame you. I'm with you on that. That's why I never I just watch from afar. Like I don't get into all that, but I watch from afar. But like you're somebody like that does big things and doing big things, but you still humble and modest enough to share more than you post what you're doing. You just share everybody else's stuff. And what's gonna happen? It's gonna come back to you when you do drop. When you fully drop something, because you do a lot of sneak plays, you know, teasers. I like that. I'm still watching that movie you just sent me now. I like it. It's shot well. I'm like, I got like 45 minutes left, but it's good.
Yeah.
Multiple storylines in it. I ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't saying them. Just it's shot well and it's written well too.
Yeah, thank you.
Acting as well. So I'm very critical of these kind of movies. So me saying it's not a bad thing. I'm just telling you because I feel like you're sitting there for a reason, but I do like it. And once I finish watching, I'll send you like my whole.
And let your daughter see it too.
We gonna watch. We watching together. While I stop, we watching together.
Yeah.
We started watching it last night.
Okay.
And but I say like to say, you know, and you in working behind the scenes, and what do you think is for you the major difference between working in front of the camera and working behind the camera? And this is your personal thing, like what you like, what you don't like.
In front of the camera, behind the camera. I don't have to worry about how I look behind the camera. I could be, you know how they, How the rappers be talking about they be trapping in the same clothes. Yeah, we trapping.
Boy,
like, now, I'm going to take a shower and be clean. But as far as my hair might be in the ball, I'm not, when you're in front of the camera,
you got to look dolled up.
You got to look dolled up. You can't.
For you now, mind you.
Yeah, for me. Yeah. You can't just be authentic. Like, God will go back to the rap songs. God will say, I like you better with, no makeup and the raw you. Mm-hmm. People actually do like that, but the people of the world are more accepting of something put together.
Yeah, but I even so I record and do podcasts, and I say the same thing. One thing I notice is that if I wanted to have a guest the same day, I'm more likely to get a male guest than a woman guest than a female guest, because they gotta have their hair done, they gotta get ready. They're gonna be on camera, which I understand. I gotta respect it,
right?
Which is why I like when podcast was in 2016. You just show up in your pajamas, we have a conversation. It's not on camera, it's just audio.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. But now you gotta look up the par. So I be understanding people say, hey, look, I can get a guy straight up work. I can't get a woman straight up work. They gotta go home, get right, come back, do all this other stuff. So I understand it, and but it's needed though, because when you are on camera, you do want to look presentable. You do want to, regardless of what people like, you want to look like, you want to present yourself a certain way.
Yeah, and then for me, it's not even myself. It's more so other little girls that might look like me, who may, maybe have their own insecurities or whatever, and like this for them, like, yeah.
I want to ask a question. I've been trying to ask this question to people, and I should make a collage, but I'll be tripping. What, if anything, what does Augusta mean to you?
Augusta means, we can't take Atlanta's slogan, so let me think of another one.
What's their slogan? No, I didn't know they had a slogan.
No, like rise up. Like Augusta means
the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Yeah, stop playing. I know you're lying. The Falcons.
For me, Augusta is like seeing green. There's such an abundance of everything here. Now, we don't have a beach, but we just talked about, like, with having history, you already, there's already things, but we're new. You know what I'm saying? We have you and I could build a skyscraper, and it could be one of the tallest in the city because there's not that many. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We could build a school because there's room to do that. Like, it's so much room to grow. So I just see green. Augusta is seeing green to me.
It's dope, because when you think about the masters in green, it's just like, I like all of that. That's a good way to say it. I think Augusta do have a very rich history once you really break it down. Even being the capital of Georgia at one point. So I do think the history is definitely rich, but I think green is a perfect way to put it. Like, it is green. And you can take it for what you want to take it for. Money, take it for a good idea, mean and goal, whatever. Like, you could go with any idea.
Land.
Like no matter what. That might be one of the most double, triple, quadruple entendres. You might be a rapper. I seen you doing hip hop thing. So just talk about a little bit like some ideas, because I see you working with artists, actors, actresses, and other producers from Augusta. I know, like, I seen you shout out J. Paul a few times. So Carlton Clay. I've actually never seen you, like, I don't know if you do, but I never seen you, like, have an issue with anybody in the field or talk down. You always just big up everybody. Yeah. And I appreciate that, because as a podcaster, I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't. Nah, people be one way. You turn this camera off,
and they be another one, right?
Hey man, it's insane. It makes me feel bad.
They be
like, damn. Hey, you from now on, if you look at my podcast and just shoot me a text. Say, hey, should I cast it first? If I say yes, they was on the bullshit. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now, they was on BS. But so like what are some things you're doing with the community? I seen you had a few. I can't think of his name off the top of my tongue, but in what you sent me, the person that played Bank, I think he played a great job. Like, he was amazing. That's not. He plays something totally out of his character. That's not him. Yeah, he's a very well-spoken
Shout out to Joppa.
dude.
He's actually Joppa the Great. Yeah,
good rapper too. Good rapper too.
And he doesn't cuss in his music. Very articulate, very intelligent.
Super intelligent. When I spoke to him, I was like, oh, okay, he's a cool dude. Ain't with Hesper, so hey, give it up to him.
Okay,
Hesper's not,
up the way.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He's a cool guy though, but like he really bodied that role.
Yes.
Like that's my favorite character. And maybe I'm being biased because she's on the show.
No, yeah.
That's my favorite character in the whole movie.
That's why, yeah.
Who casted him? You?
Yes.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
If I had a 20 on me still I would give it to you. I gave it to all my kids at Josie.
Dang.
I would give you the 20. You did a good job. He did a great job.
Yeah.
So how do you cast? I'm asking you these questions. How do you cast? Like, is it you? Do you ask for them to send videos in? Are you meeting up? Like, what's your casting routine like?
Okay, because I'm gonna just be honest, y'all. Don't kill me because I have done casting calls before, but I will already had the cast like 95% because again, everything is genuine with me. Like
You see a vision, so you know who's gonna have this role and stuff. Okay,
gotcha. Or not even. I know who's been preparing for this role, so I don't have to do a casting call. Really, more so, it's like, hey, I have this role that I think you'd be good for. Will you accept it? Because I see that you're working towards it. I know this is something you want to do. Why not? Okay. I'll do a casting call after that if the roles aren't filled, because at the same time, I am an indie filmmaker, so I also don't want to waste my time on someone who may just be experimenting or may not be as dedicated. So I always want to give it to people who've been preparing for it first. And not to say that the people that I haven't worked with aren't, but it will cross paths when it's time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was it about Joppa that you was like, it's your time? What was it about him?
I worked with him on a previous movie, If I Shall. And for that one, because I needed people, I did do a casting call. So he just went on to the next project. Like,
I seen you work with him. I seen you work with EJ Rogers. He shouted you out a lot of times.
Yes, that's I was gonna name that as my favorite project, but we technically haven't done it yet. So
what's it called?
It's called Through Thick and Thin.
Okay, he mentioned.
Yeah.
Every time he see me, he mentioned what he's doing.
Yes.
If you know EJ,
he gonna tell it.
He gonna tell you what he's doing.
And he one of my friends who be like, just what's that Kendrick Lamar? Yeah.
Pop out and show?
Yeah, pop out and show him. And I'll be like,
EJ's funny.
Oh, EJ, no.
EJ's funny. EJ's funny, man.
He's like, they can't stop nothing.
He did a good job in the film as well. I just, as I watched, because as I'm gearing up, to interview and stuff, I'm watching stuff. And as I just watch how carefully you're picking the cast, how beautifully a lot of these scenes are shot, the audio piece, not... If you're using different cameras, not being able to tell. That's another thing I hate. I hate when it's one scene and one camera's like really, really messed up and the other one's like great. It's like, bro, did y'all shoot the same day? I can't critique too much, but you get my drift.
Right.
I liked that, and I like the respect that you get. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but J. Paul or Carl and Clay. I remember I seen him yesterday. I asked to borrow his battery because I got a new camera. And he let me borrow it. And I said, I'm interviewing such and such. He's like, oh, for real? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, she doing dope thing. It's hard because he not somebody that say that about nobody. He'd be like, And so for him, it was cold outside. For him to sit there and talk to me for a little bit, I'm like, okay, you got respect. So even the respect you're getting or have garnered through this transition of you going from Cross Creek, being a president in Clayton, it's followed you, and you've gotten a lot of respect from your peers as well.
Thank you. You kind of don't. I read something that was like you don't know you're making history until you do. So just like I'm grateful that it's recognized, but because I give respect, and because I like care about people, that I expect that, like
100%.
Yeah.
Nah, but see, it's funny,
and they know people. What I would say is people know that I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna give 1,000% for you.
Yeah.
People know I'm a selfless person. That's what I was saying. So
it's funny, like as I'm talking, I feel like you're selfless, and I think because I'm assuming this because of where you can be and where you're trying to go, where you want to go. I think you don't down it, but you're not accepting that this is just enough. it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I want more.
Yeah.
Not more like in a greed way, but I'm here to do more. Like you ain't seen nothing yet. That's what I'm getting from you, because like you do got a lot of stuff on your belt. You do got a lot of things, but there's a lot of things I can tell just watching you that you still gotta put out. You still wanna do. Like you ain't nowhere near where you wanna be yet with what you're doing.
No. And even if I thought about where I want to be, God probably laughing at it, child. So now I'm not even trying to write the story, just more so do the work.
I feel that. I got a few questions. So, how do you tackle? We talk about timing and stuff. So, how do you tackle projects with very short time limits? So maybe you're not putting a time limit itself, but the time limit on it is short anyway. So, how do you tackle that project?
Don't put away tomorrow what can be done today. Like in the concept of you sleep when it's done. When it's complete, then we can get sleep. This thing of sleep, I don't know what it is. Like I don't know. I've slept in the car before. I'll sleep.
It's funny.
How do I tackle it? You do it and you don't make excuses for why you can't.
That's me all the way. It's funny you say that, because you mentioned like how sometimes the hustlers be like, I wore this, I wore that, and it's not that they want to be dirty. It's not that they want to wear the same, but what like it's a certain feel you get when you grinding, and when you grinding so hard that you can't even change clothes, that tell you that you working.
Right.
And I asked you about being behind the scenes, and you was like, well, in front of the scenes you got to be done up, so you kind of have to set time aside to go get done up. But being behind the scenes, you put your hand in the bun, you throw a shirt on, your little sweater, hoodie, whatever, and you just going. You on grind mode. And I don't think there's no better feeling than being in grind mode and really like knowing you're grinding for real. Like things are happening, things are in motion. So when you say that, like don't put off today, or don't put off
tomorrow what you could do today.
I feel the same way. I hate when somebody tell me that at work. Oh, we do it tomorrow. Why? It takes 7 minutes. Just do it now. Because then tomorrow we're gonna have something else done. Now we can't get that done because we ain't take the 7 minutes aside to do this today.
Right.
That can be applied to anything in life. Just as far as time management and actually getting things done in the right amount of time. So definitely, man. I would, any young women, young ladies, young men that's watching this and that inspiring to be in the media, be a director, be a producer. What words of advice, encouragement can you give them?
If you have this in your heart, know that heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? I want you to know that it's not just entertainment for, we want to laugh and giggle, right? But you have the power with your pen, with your words, to influence people on a mass scale, right? So every time you're creating something, think about, is this for good? Does this serve goodness, or does this serve something else? You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like start, because it is that serious and it is that deep. That would be mine.
I like the heavy.
I don't know if that.
I like the saying, because I've said that plenty of times. I say it now. I say it to my brother, and one thing I say is one thing about the saying "heavy is the head with the crown" is it's deeper than being in charge. It's deeper than being a creative. It's deeper than being the man. It's deeper than being a director, producer. But you subject yourself to a lot of things, a lot of criticism when you start to put this art out, because it's your art. It's something you really felt strongly about. It not being produced or not being directed the right way can kind of hurt that art. It not being put out in what you initially envisioned hurts that art. So I 100% agree with you on that. Heavy is the head with a crown, but that statement is way deeper than people may think it seems.
People what?
Make it seems. Like, to me, that's
people
just
what?
Make it seem.
Oh,
like,
okay.
People hear it and they say, okay, I can do the job. It's like, it's not about doing the job per se. It's like, can you do the job and?
Right.
And.
Right.
Not just or, but like all the ands that come along with it. So like you're not only you're a filmmaker, not only you're a producer, director, but you're a black woman. So that come with a whole another set of things that a black man ain't got to deal with.
Right.
Like I ain't got to do anybody trying to touch me or try me or use the fact that I look good to get next to me per se, like the way you guys might. You trying to do business, all this stuff. So, I think that's important.
The devil tempts us in the same way, but in different ways, right? So, yes, we may not have the same temptations or the same barriers, but I couldn't imagine being a black man because I might get hired on a better set quicker than you would. You get what I'm saying? Just because that the particular person of that set doesn't see me as a threat. So, you know, it's a, you know, we where we supposed to be.
Definitely tomato.
I definitely couldn't do, you know, I couldn't. I'm not going to say I couldn't, but yeah.
But I respect it. I respect any black woman that's staying in her field and standing on her business to make sure that, you know, she not played with, you know.
Right. And my biggest flex is I never had to show my ass to be an asset. So
right. We'll get that time stamped up there. Let me do that. Never had to show you to be an asset. Okay, I like that. You might be a rapper for real. You can start dropping bars and stuff, so. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate the time. I appreciate you coming through. I feel like, you know, I can tell you do a lot of behind the scenes work. The spotlight is for you, though. I'm definitely gonna tell you that. Like the spotlight,
you think so? In front of the camera,
I definitely think the spotlight is for you, 100%, 100%. But like I said, you know, you got no one to shoot in the past. Right now, you're just getting an assist. So that's what's up. Whenever you want to become a shooting guard, you know what I'm saying, you get in front of that camera, and you score all the points you score. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell them where they can find you at your social media. You know, anywhere they can find your movies, anything you've written, anything you've helped produce. Tell them where they can find you at.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook, Aisha Anu. Well, he gonna have it. So Aisha Anu. On Instagram is toinfinity.filmworks. And I did start a new personal page, AishaAnu.tv, if you want to follow me there. The next 10 people that follow me on the new Instagram, AishaAnu.tv, I'll send you my ebook on how to make a movie so you can make your own movie.
And speak about that just real quickly before we get out of here. How to make a movie. What made you come up with that? Made you put that out? And how can, if they're not the next 10 people, how can they get that?
Yeah. So people want to call you and pick your brain. Not knowing that, like, experience is valuable. Like, your expert, if I wanted to start a podcast, like, I would honestly ask you, could you do this for a consulting fee? Because I value your information that much. You get what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you had the trials and errors and I don't have to go through it. So that's what that is. People see you doing something and they think that is easy, not knowing that you had years of preparation to get to even having your first podcast, you know?
Right.
So that's what that came about. But also, everybody doesn't have money. Everybody isn't in Georgia. I can't help everyone, you know? It's different factors. So as much as I can help, here's what I know to be the blueprint. Here's how I got to successfully complete my film and films for others. And I just wanted to share that because yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just the easy thing. Somebody keep calling you, not saying one person, but anybody that called. And if you take it seriously, buy the book. If you take it seriously, purchase this, and then we can talk from there.
Right.
Now we can talk about some points I've already made.
Because now you have an understanding. That's like me saying, I want to build a house, and then, you know, we don't have a blueprint. We don't have, not knowing, you know, how many pieces of wood, the nails.
Yeah.
That you have to have a carpenter, you have to have the people that make the roof. Like, there's different factors of how to build this house, and you think it's just one. You know, saying I want to build a house.
The walls.
You feel me? I don't even know about that part.
The shingles.
The stuff you don't see.
The foundation. Yeah, it's all that stuff. Water lines, electricity, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this funny thing is the spot you're in right now. When I first recorded here, everything you seeing, it was just 2x4s. Promise you. I'm gonna send you. I can send you videos. It's just 2x4s.
Oh wow!
It's nothing. It was so hot in here because nothing was in here. It was summertime.
Right.
2x4s. So when I see this now, I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
But someone had the vision to do.
Somebody gotta have a vision.
You know.
You gotta know when to shoot in the past. So I like that. That shoot in the past is probably my favorite quote of the day. I like that. For real.
Now, that's not an original. I don't know where I got it from, but it's a fact. It's valid.
I got it from you. You know that. I don't know where you got it from. I got it from you. So shout out to you. But I definitely appreciate you for coming through.
Yes.
You got to do this again when you do drop something.
Yes.
Bring your cast with you. We can talk about the film. Hopefully, you send it to me first again, and I can watch it, and then I can talk about it like I feel like, and I feel important. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You get the exclusive drops.
For real. I like that. I love that. That's one thing I like about media, getting the exclusive drop. I love media. I love movies. I love stuff like that. So, but I appreciate you, man. Long overdue episode. Don't be a stranger. Come back and see me again. And I wish you all the success. Look at the beautiful smiles I'm talking about, man. You're supposed to be in front of the camera.
Thank you.
More Than Masters podcast. We out.
We out. Peace.